This is my rant on the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 video game, which was released for PS3 and Xbox 360 earlier this year and is the final installment in the Marvel vs. Capcom and is the third installment in the Marvel vs. Capcom series. This is also my rant on YouTube user Abel10811188. So, Abel, you dumb SOB, you want to bash TNA? You want to bash Naruto and spout BS about the series that you know nothing about and that isn't true? You want to bash professional wrestling as a whole and compare it to that piece of crap South Park? You want to bash Twilight? You want to sneak into theaters and see other movies when you're supposed to be watching a certain movie? You want to join the Dragon Ball protest? Well, once again, it's payback time. But regardless of my rivalry or grudge with Abel, this game sucks bullock. This game sucks bullocks because I am a huge fan of the original Marvel vs. Capcom series and the Capcom vs. series in general and Capcom games in general. That's Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2, Marvel vs. Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, and Capcom vs. SNK 1 and 2, and the recently released Capcom vs. Tatsunoko for the Wii. When I first heard that Capcom was going to release Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I had mixed opinions about it because I didn't know what systems it was going to be for. But once I heard it's going to be on the PS3 and Xbox 360 and exclusively for the 7th generation of gaming, I was kind of pissed. I was pissed because I had high expectations for this game, and when this game released, it lived up to none of them. First of all, the game plays the same way it did back in 2001, so that means the game has not changed at all in 11 years. Then it gets worse. There is no story. It's just a game with a bunch of random characters. It's just a bunch of random characters fighting. Every fighting game in the 7th generation, for the most part, have some kind of story or plot. Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Tatsunoko are expectations. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Heroes, the other crossover game released 3 years ago, featured two in-depth stories featuring the Mortal Kombat characters and the DC comic book characters. Midway actually came up with a reason why the DC characters and the Mortal Kombat characters were fighting each other and interacting with each other. In this game, you just have a bunch of random characters fighting each other. Now, Marvel vs. Capcom has done this. Now the original Marvel vs. Capcom has done this in the past, but here's the difference. In the past, the characters who appear in the original Marvel vs. Capcom series were based on their respective video game and animated series that were airing at the time, and the characters match who they were fighting. Prime example, Zangief is big, strong, and superhuman, so he'd be a perfect match, well, at least for the first form of the Incredible Hulk. So would Blanka, who is also a green mutated monster just like the Hulk. Instead, in this game, we have Mike Hager, who's awesome, but why is he here? Why is he here when Zangief is not? Zangief is way more relevant in modern times than Mike Hager is. If you want to use Mike Hager, you should have included him and Zangief in the game, and you should have made another Final Fight game. Oh, but they didn't do that. They're too busy whoring out Marvel vs. Capcom is too busy whoring out Marvel vs. Capcom. Then there are Marvel characters. Then the Marvel characters in the original Marvel vs. Capcom series look and appear and talk as they did in their respective animated series that aired throughout the 90s and early 2000s. In this game, it's random as hell. Why are Resident Evil characters in this game? There is nothing super about them. And where is Mega Man, Cyclops, Cable, Jin Satomi, Captain Commando, Ken, Strider, Akuma, and Dan? So many missing characters. There are only two things I like about this game. Nathan Spencer from the original arcade and Nintendo game Bionic Commando, and Iron Man in this game looks and sounds like he does in the Marvel Avengers animated series currently airing on Disney, and he sounds just like Robert Downey. He sounds and looks just like Robert Downey Jr. in the Iron Man movies. Then the graphics. I hate the graphics of this game. Why does everything have to be in Blu-ray or HD? What was wrong with the cel-shaded animated graphics from the 6th generation of gaming? Well, that's it for now. This game is garbage. Nothing but a cheap cash in on a franchise, like most games from the 7th generation. Capcom versus Tatsunoko and Marvel and Mortal Kombat versus DC Heroes were better than this. No, better. Dragon Ball Evolution for the PSP was better than this garbage. Well, what's better than this garbage? I don't care. Now, Abel. This time it's gonna be different. This challenge is gonna be different. You will respond to me. You will give me a video response. You will no longer hide behind the Krillin fan or any of the YouTubers here on YouTube. If you get someone to do a commentary on this rant, fine, I'll take care of them. But I'll be expecting a rant from you by next Thursday. Thursday. You will, like I said before, you will no longer hide behind the YouTubers. You will no longer hide behind the Krillin fan. You will give me a video response. I'm sick of you hiding behind comments. No more of this comment stuff. I'm sick of you hiding behind comics and not doing videos. You will give me a video response. If you don't give me a video response, you will forfeit, and I will win this challenge by forfeit. So, Doug8798 out. That makes you next, XAM.